Hello, my dear students. Myself, Kinshuk sir, your Casey sir, and I welcome you all to your very own beautiful channel of Magical Physics. Dear students, JEE and NEET exams have really come very close, and students are very worried about their 11th standard syllabus. Students are constantly messaging me that they cannot recollect the topics, the concepts, the hints that they had learned in 11th standard. And now, due to the pandemic situation, the colleges are also closed. So it's high time that we need a quick recap, a quick revision of the entire 11th standard syllabus. So, my dear students, only for you, I am bringing a free session of entire complete 11th standard entrance point of view revision lectures. These revision lectures will be completely from JEE and NEET point of view. Dear students, if you are a 11th standard student or you are a 12th standard student, you are bound to be benefited from these lectures. So spread the news with your friends that you will get entire complete 11th standard syllabus for free from JEE and NEET point of view. Dear students, in the comment section, let me know which chapter should I start next. And these revision sessions, I'll really wrap it up very fast. Dear students, without wasting any time, let's get started. Today is our first lecture, and the lecture is on sound. So let's get started. So students, as we know that sound is a longitudinal wave. Sound is a longitudinal wave. Wave का मतलब होता है something which has energy and the energy is propagating. Wave means energy and energy is propagating. So wave is propagation of energy from one point to another point. Now, dear students, this wave, this energy which is propagating from one point to another point can either be transverse or it can be longitudinal. The wave can either be a transverse wave or it can be a longitudinal wave. Okay. या तो वेव ट्रांसवर्स वेव हो सकता है, नहीं तो वेव एक लॉन्जिट्यूडिनल वेव हो सकता है. Can either be a transverse wave or a longitudinal wave. Now, जो हम लोगों का ट्रांसवर्स वेव होता है, it has alternate crests and troughs. Transverse wave has alternate crests and troughs. So transverse wave looks like this. Example of a transverse wave is wave generated in a string, wave generated in a rope. That's a transverse wave. ये जो highest points होता है students, these are called as crests, and ये जो lowest points होता है, these are called as troughs. So transverse wave has alternate crests and troughs. In longitudinal waves, we say that there are alternate compressions and rarefactions. Alternate compressions and rarefactions. So this is a compression followed by a rarefaction, again a compression followed by rarefaction in this way. So longitudinal waves have alternate compression followed by rarefaction, again compression followed by rarefaction. Now, velocity of a wave. So transverse wave, dear students, has a velocity of under root of t by m. That is the velocity of the transverse wave. You should remember this formula. Transverse wave velocity is under root of t by m. यहाँ पे students, t stands for tension and m stands for linear mass density. T is tension and m is linear mass density. And for longitudinal waves, the velocity is under root of e by rho. Here E is modulus of elasticity, bulk modulus to be precise, and rho is the density of the medium. Bulk modulus of elasticity, numerator, and rho is the density of the medium. So it is under root of E by rho, longitudinal waves velocity. Okay. उसके बाद for a transverse wave, we will say that these waves, transverse waves, can propagate only through solids. Transverse waves can propagate only through solids because for transverse waves, tension is needed. देखो न्यूमरेटर में क्या है, अंडर रूट ऑफ T by M, where T stands for tension and M is linear mass density. So tension सिर्फ solids में हो सकता है. In case of strings, we can have tension, right? वही स्टूडेंट्स हम लोग कह सकते हैं कि हमारा जो लॉन्जिट्यूडिनल वेव्स है, they can propagate through all the three medium, means the solid, liquid as well as gases, क्योंकि इलास्टिसिटी सब में होता है. तो ट्रांसवर्स वेव में हम कहेंगे कि ट्रैवल थ्रू सॉलिड्स. To some extent you can say that it can travel through liquid का surface, क्योंकि लिक्विड के सरफेस पे सरफेस टेंशन होता है. So tension can be seen in the liquid surface, but उतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है लिक्विड का सरफेस. हाँ, लिक्विड के अंदर से और गैस में से ट्रेवल नहीं होगा. वही तुम्हारे लॉन्जिट्यूडिनल वेव्स कैन ट्रेवल थ्रू all the three mediums, that is solids, liquids and gases. तो आपका जो साउंड है स्टूडेंट्स, that's a longitudinal wave. So your sound, that is longitudinal waves, can travel through all the three mediums, solids, liquids as well as gases. Sound can travel through solids, liquids as well as gases because sound is a longitudinal wave. It can propagate through all the three medium, solid, liquid as well as gases. अच्छा, एक चीज आप याद रखो, एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट, कि साउंड का वेलोसिटी सॉलिड में मैक्सिमम होगा. वेलोसिटी v is maximum for sound in solids. वही आपका वेलोसिटी साउंड में, साउंड का वेलोसिटी गैसेस में मिनिमम होगा. For gases, the velocity of sound will be minimum. And why? The reason is, in case of solids, the mediums are tightly packed. तो अगर स्टूडेंट्स मीडियम एकदम टाइटली पैक्ड है तो वाइब्रेशंस बहुत इजीली आगे प्रोपेगेट हो जाता है. सॉलिड्स में मीडियम इज टाइटली पैक्ड, so velocity is more. In case of gases, the particles are far away from each other. As the particles are away from each other, vibration एक पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट जाने में वक्त ज्यादा लगता है. So velocity of sound is maximum in solids and minimum in gases. Okay. दोनों आपका ट्रांसवर्स वेव एज वेल एज लॉन्जिट्यूडिनल वेव तो हम कहते हैं प्रोग्रेसिव वेव. Now when I say that I have a progressive wave, it means that the wave is propagating. मतलब हमारा वेव एक जगह पे रुका हुआ नहीं है. The wave is propagating, ठीक है. Now for a progressive wave, dear students, एक इक्वेशन होता है, इक्वेशन ऑफ अ प्रोग्रेसिव वेव. And equation of a progressive wave is y is equals to a sine of, because the wave looks a sinusoidal in shape, sine wave जैसा दिखता है. So it is y is equals to a sine of omega t. या तो यहाँ पे प्लस साइन आएगा, नहीं तो माइनस साइन आएगा. It is omega t plus or minus kx, and sometimes you may even have plus 5. This, dear students, is the generalized formula of a progressive wave. एक progressive wave का ये generalized formula है. अब अगर आप इस wave के individual equation के components देखो, तो this A stands for amplitude. A आपका amplitude है. Amplitude is the maximum disturbance from the mean position, that is A. Omega is angular frequency. Omega is angular frequency. इसका formula, dear students, is 2 pi upon capital T, जहाँ पे capital T is the time period. It is 2 pi by capital T, omega. Or you can even call it as 2 pi f, because 1 by capital T f होता है. 1 by capital T is f. So you can even call it as 2 pi f. K, dear students, is propagation constant, and propagation constant का फॉर्मूला होता है 2 pi by lambda, जहां पे lambda is the wavelength of the wave. Lambda is the wavelength of the wave. Achha. Now, dear students, when the wave, that is the energy, is propagating, when energy is propagating, तो energy एक medium में से propagate हो रहा है. Energy is propagating through a medium, right? तो energy अगर एक medium में से propagate होगा, तो medium के particles ना vibrate करता है. The particles of the medium vibrate. Let me tell you in a better way. So let's imagine that this is the medium, and through this medium, energy is propagating. This medium, dear students, will have particles, irrespective of the fact कि आपका ये medium solid है, liquid है कि gas है. The medium will have particles, no doubt about it. And हमारा जो energy है, मतलब हमारा जो wave है, वो इस medium में से गुजर रहा है. So when the wave, that is the energy, will pass through the medium, dear students, तो आपके medium के particles ना will vibrate. अच्छा, when the medium particles will vibrate about the mean position, उसको बोलते हैं to and fro motion, to and fro motion. तो आपके medium के particles के पास एक velocity आ जाएगा. That is called as particle velocity. I call it as VP. P stands for particle. I repeat once again. ये हमारे पास medium है, either solid medium or liquid medium or gaseous medium. This medium, dear students, has particles, and through this medium, energy is propagating. Energy हमारा इस medium में से pass हो रहा है. Something like this. So when energy will pass through the medium, the particles of the medium will vibrate. The particles of the medium will oscillate about the mean position. पहला पार्टिकल वाइब्रेट होगा तो वो दूसरे पार्टिकल से टकराएगा, दूसरा पार्टिकल वाइब्रेट होगा वो तीसरे से टकराएगा, तीसरा पार्टिकल चौथे से टकराएगा, एंड इस तरह से वाइब्रेशंस आगे बढ़ता जाएगा. वाइब्रेशंस आगे जा रहे हैं मतलब डियर स्टूडेंट्स एनर्जी आगे जा रहा है. सो वी कैन से दैट एनर्जी इज प्रोपगेटिंग थ्रू द मीडियम एंड मीडियम के पार्टिकल्स आर वाइब्रेटिंग अबाउट द मीन पोजीशन. तो ये जो वीपी है ये मीडियम के पार्टिकल्स का वेलोसिटी है, मीडियम के पार्टिकल्स का वेलोसिटी है. So I call it as particle velocity. VP is particle velocity. Medium के particles का velocity. VP. Particle velocity. Particle velocity, dear students, होगा particle के displacement का derivative. Particle के displacement का derivative. अब particle के displacement का ये देखो नीचे, ये equation दे दिया. This is the equation of the displacement of the particle. Particle जो vibrate कर रहा है, उसके वाइब्रेट करने के डिस्प्लेसमेंट का इक्वेशन है ये. तो डेरिवेटिव ऑफ दिस इक्वेशन विल गिव यू पार्टिकल का वेलोसिटी. पहला क्वेश्चन देखो, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग डज नॉट प्रोड्यूस अ साउंड वेव. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग डज नॉट प्रोड्यूस अ साउंड वेव. सो यू कैन सी दैट एक्सप्लोशन इन आउटर स्पेस. तो इन आउटर स्पेस वैक्यूम इज देयर. But for sound to propagate, medium is necessary. Sound एक mechanical wave है. So for sound to propagate, medium is necessary. So we can say that कि हम लोगों का explosion अगर outer में होगा तो वो सुनाई नहीं देगा. Which of the following waves cannot travel through vacuum? फिर से वही क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे. What cannot travel through vacuum? So the wave which cannot travel through vacuum is sound waves. So ये तुम्हारे X-ray, radio wave and light waves. These all are electromagnetic waves. All of them are So electromagnetic waves can travel through vacuum. Seismic waves are sound waves. They do not travel through vacuum. So option is D. Moving on to the next question. Okay. So in a transverse wave, how the particles of the medium vibrate? So transverse wave, according to definition, is a wave in which vibration is perpendicular to the direction of the propagation of the wave. So the particles vibrate in a direction which is perpendicular to the direction of the propagation of the wave. That's a transverse wave definition. And ये जो आपको definition दिख रहा है, the particles vibrate parallel to the direction of the wave propagation. This is longitudinal wave. This is longitudinal wave. Longitudinal wave. Okay. Transverse wave consists of, what does transverse wave have? So transverse waves consists of crests and troughs. Transverse waves looks like this. So they have alternate crests and troughs. ये जो आप देख रहे हो compressions and rarefactions, these are present in longitudinal waves. Longitudinal waves have compressions and rarefactions. Longitudinal waves. Okay. ये तो होगा ही नहीं, only crest, only trough. So transverse wave have crests and troughs. Let's proceed. Equation of a wave is given to us, and उस equation को देख के हमको बताना है इसमें से कौन से options right है. Okay. So if we see the equation of a wave, this is the equation of the wave. हम लोग students इस equation को standard equation से compare करते हैं. So you can say that y is equals to a sine of, now with t we always have omega, so it is omega t minus kx. With x always k is attached, with t always omega is there. So if you compare properly, then you understand that this a is 5 on comparison. So we understand that the amplitude of the wave is 5. So this is correct. This is correct. Let's see what else is correct. So we can say that omega into t is 100 by t. So omega is 100 by. So we can say that omega is equals to 100 into pi. 100 into pi. So students, we can say that that is equals to omega, basic formula होता है 2 pi f. So 100 pi is 2 pi f. So from this pi cancel, 2 goes down, 100 by 2. So frequency is 50. Frequency f becomes 50. So frequency f 50, even 3 is right. So you can see that 1 and 3 का combination है ही नहीं. So 3 is right, मतलब either option A 1 2 3 or it is option B that all are right. Let's see. हम लोग k को निकालते हैं. Let's find k. So k is propagation constant, and propagation constant का formula is 2 pi by lambda. Formula for propagation constant 2 pi by lambda, basic formula. So we say that k, that is 2 pi by lambda, will be equal to कितना हो जाएगा? So k, that is 2 pi by lambda, is equal to 0.4 pi. 0.4 pi. So pi gets cancelled out from both sides. So you'll say that lambda is equals to 2 divided by 0.4. 2 divided by 0.4. So that is 20 by 4, which is 5. 20 by 4, which is 5. So even lambda is right. The last is velocity of the wave. Wave velocity. So wave velocity v is equals to f lambda. Wave velocity v is f lambda. So f, that is frequency, it is 50, and lambda is 5. So we say that it is 50 multiplied by 5 f lambda. So 50 into 5 is 250. So wave velocity v is 250 meter per second. Even that is right. So all are correct. All are correct. We can proceed. A progressive wave is represented by the equation y is equals to 5 sine of 100 pi t minus 2 pi x. You are supposed to find the value of the maximum particle velocity. As I told you, in order to find particle velocity, हमको displacement के equation को differentiate करना होता है. Particle velocity. So particle velocity Vp will be equals to dy by dt. Derivative of the displacement equation gives us particle velocity. So dy by dt will be equals to particle velocity. So 5 constant बाहर, sin का derivative sin of something, तो sin का derivative cos होता है, derivative of sin is cos, so sin का derivative will be cos of 100 pi t minus 2 pi x into derivative of this bracket, chain rule, derivative of this bracket is bracket का derivative 100 pi t का derivative 100 pi, क्योंकि t का derivative 1, so t का derivative is 1 minus of 2 pi x, उसमें t है ही नहीं, तो उसका derivative 0. Right. So students will say that that is equals to 5 into 100, that is 500. So you have 500 pi cos of this bracket. So for maximum particle velocity, for particle velocity to be maximum, the value of the cos should be 1. Cos का value 1 होना चाहिए for particle velocity to be maximum. So if we consider the value of cos as 1, then the maximum particle velocity becomes 500 pi. 500 pi. So that is option D, 500 pi. Okay. So let's proceed. Displacement of a wave is given as y is equals to 3 sine omega t plus 4 cos omega t. So we are supposed to find the resultant amplitude. So we understand that this is 3 sine of omega t and this is 4 cos of omega t. Now cos, अगर suppose हम लोग ऐसा सोच लेते हैं कि this is the first wave and this is the second wave, इन दोनों waves के बीच में what is the phase angle? मतलब हम लोग ऐसा बोल रहे हैं कि जो हमारा resultant wave है y, that is equals to y1 plus y2. y is equals to y1 plus y2, ऐसा बोल रहे हो. and यहाँ पे y1 is 3 sin omega t and y2 is 4 cos omega t. तो हम लोग ऐसा बोल सकते हैं, क्या बोल सकते हैं कि y1 is equal to 3 sin of omega t and y2, dear students, is equal to 4 cos of omega t. 4 cos of omega t. Okay. So this cos omega t can be written as sin omega t. How? It is sin 90 plus theta. Sin 90 plus theta is cos. So we can write it as sin of omega t plus pi by 2. Plus pi by 2. It becomes like this. So we understand that the phase difference between y1 and y2 is pi by 2. Pi by 2 का phase difference है between y1 and y2. So we can say that जो हमारा resultant y होगा, that resultant y will be equal to, जो हमारा resultant y होगा, that will be equal to, according to parallelogram law, it is under root of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. If you think that this is one vector called as p, if you think that this is the second vector called as q, and if you think that between the two vectors angle is theta. So resultant of these two vectors p and q, resultant of these two vectors will be r, and this r, dear students, will be under root of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. Now यहाँ पे p को मान लो 3, q को मान लो 4. So that is p square. So that is 3 square. So we say that it is 3 square p square plus q square. So that is 4 square plus 2pq. So 2 into 3 into 4 into cos 90. 2pq cos 90 cos pi by 2. So cos pi by 2 cos 90 0 हो गया. So this entire part goes down to 0. So it is root of 25. Root of 25 matlab 5. Correct answer is option C. Right. Okay. So in the question they are telling that this is the equation of a progressive wave. कोई wave आगे जा रहा है, उसका ये equation है. This is the equation of the progressive wave. So in the question they are telling us that what is the time period in second. Time period. Time period capital T पूछ रहे. So we know that if we compare this equation with the generalized equation, in the generalized equation, this equation becomes y is equals to a, that is the amplitude, sine of, with x always you have k. So it is sine of kx plus omega t, plus omega t. Coefficient of t is omega and coefficient of x is always k. So we say that it is omega. So the value of omega, dear students, by comparison, we understand it is 12. And what is omega? So omega is 2 pi by t. So omega is 2 pi divided by t. So we say that 2 gets cancelled out. So 6. So t will be pi by 6. T will be pi by 6. That will be substituted here. Pi by 6. Right? That is the time period. Moving on to the next question. Two waves are represented by this and this. So they are asking us to find the phase difference between them. What is the phase difference between them? Phase difference. So first understand that कि साइन के अंदर जो चीज होता है उसको बोलते हैं phase. This entire part is called as wave का phase. And similarly this is also called as wave का phase. तो अगर आप ध्यान से देखो तो ये वाला cos पे, this is in cos, and ये ऊपर वाला sin पे. So you cannot compare sin and cos. Sin and cos को compare नहीं कर पाओगे. तो या तो दोनों sin पे नहीं तो दोनों cos पे. तो y1 तो sin पे ही है, उसको टच नहीं करना है. We are going to y2, उसको sin में कन्वर्ट करते हैं. How to do that? So we say that it is a sin of, क्या हो जाएगा ब्रैकेट के अंदर, ओमेगा टी प्लस के एक्स प्लस पाई बाई 2. Sin 90 plus theta is cos theta. So it is k of x plus pi by 2. Pi by 2. Right? So we can say that ऊपर वाला यानी y1 का was a sin of omega t plus kx plus 0.5 बराबर 0.57. So दोनों waves का phase difference, you have to find a phase difference between the two waves. You have to find a phase difference between the two waves. Phase difference. So this is the first phase and this is the second phase. So difference is simply subtraction. So when we do subtraction, in order to find the difference between the two phases, so we say that omega t plus kx will be cancelled out. So it is pi by 2 minus 0.57. Pi by 2 minus 0.57. So what is pi by 2? Pi is 3.14. So 3.14 divided by 2. So that is 1.57. 3.14 divided by 2. 1.57 minus 0.57. So 1.57 minus 0.57 is 1. So answer is A. Answer is A. Okay. In the question they have told that you have to find the phase difference between 2 points which are separated by lambda by 2 distance. So remember that there is a relation between phase difference and path difference. There is a relation between phase difference and path difference. So phase difference is equals to, value of phase difference is 2 pi by lambda times path difference. This is the relation between phase difference and path difference. Path difference यानी रास्ते का difference, phase difference यानी angle का difference. So the relation between phase difference and path difference is this. Phase difference is 2 pi by lambda into path difference. So the value of the phase difference, which is asked to us, that is phi, will be equals to 2 pi by lambda, 2 pi by lambda into the path difference, and the value of the path difference is lambda by 2. See in the question, they have told that the path difference is lambda by 2. Distance na, distance yani path, angle yani phase. So path difference is lambda by 2. So you can say that lambda gets cancelled out like this, and 2 to be cancelled. So we will get pi. So the phase difference between the 2 points is pi. Phase difference becomes pi. So let's proceed. Okay, this is an equation which is given to us, wave equation. Displacement is 5 centimeter at t equal to 0. T equal to 0 पे displacement is 5 centimeter. What will be the total phase at 7.5 second? So they are asking you to find the value of phase. Phase मतलब होता है आपका साइन के अंदर, ये वाला, इसको बोलते हैं फेज. ये आपसे पूछा, टोटल फेज पूछा. कब पूछा ये टोटल फेज? एट अ टाइम ऑफ 7.5 सेकेंड. तो सबसे पहला चीज हम लोग क्या करेंगे, टोटल फेज निकालते टाइम हम लोग वो 7.5 को टी के जगह पे सब्स्टिट्यूट. बट वी डोंट नो अल्फा. अल्फा का वैल्यू कितना है, दैट वी डोंट नो. तो उसको फाइंड आउट करने के लिए इन द गिवन क्वेश्चन वो लोगों ने ऐसा बोला कि एट टाइम टी इक्वल टू 0 डिस्प्लेसमेंट वाज 5 सेंटीमीटर. जब टी 0 था डिस्प्लेसमेंट वाज 5 सेंटीमीटर. तो इससे मेरे को ना अल्फा मिल जाएगा. सो आई कैन से दैट y will be equals to 10 साइन ऑफ ब्रैकेट के अंदर t तो 0 है, तो 2 पाई इंटू 0 दैट बिकम 0 प्लस अल्फा. ये ऐसा हो गया. एंड y का वैल्यू क्वेश्चन में दिया है 5. t इक्वल टू 0 पे y इज 5. सो आई कैन टेक दिस 10 डाउन. सो आई विल गेट 5 डिवाइडेड बाय 10, 5 divided by 10 is equals to sine of alpha. 5 divided by 10 is sine of alpha. So 5 by 10 is 1 by 2. So I should get 1 by 2 is equals to sine of alpha. 1 by 2 is sine of alpha. So alpha must be 30 degree. Alpha is 30 degree, which means that it is 5 by 6. 30 degree. 5 by 6. That is alpha. So we can say that therefore the total phase that we are supposed to find will be equal to, क्या हो जाएगा स्टूडेंट? That will be equals to 2 pi by 45 multiplied by t. And what is t? T is 7.5. That is given in the question. So t is 7.5 plus alpha, and value of alpha just now we have calculated as 5 by 6. 5 by 6. Agreed? So 2 into 7.5, 15, and 15 threes are 45. So pi by 3. So your phase is pi by 3 plus pi by 6. Pi by 3 plus pi by 6. So multiply by 2, divide by 2. So 2 pi plus pi is 3 pi by 6. 3 pi by 6. So that is pi by 2. Option is B. Right? Very good. Next question. Figure shows a sinusoidal wave, as you can see, which points are in phase. In phase. In phase का मतलब कि उन points का location and direction of vibration same होना चाहिए. लोकेशन भी सेम होना चाहिए, डायरेक्शन ऑफ वाइब्रेशन भी सेम होना चाहिए, देन दैट इज इन फेज। पहला बोल रहे ए बी, अगर आप ए एंड बी देखो तो लोकेशन तो सेम है, both A and B are at the same location, but you can see that A is going up and B is going down, so definitely A is not in phase. Location same है, direction of vibration अलग है। अगर आप B के बारे में देखो तो B का तो लोकेशन ही अलग है C के साथ, so definitely B and C are not in phase, लोकेशन अलग है। D and D अगर देखो तो B का and D का लोकेशन सेम नहीं है, डायरेक्शन ऑफ वाइब्रेशन तो अलग है ही, लोकेशन ही सेम नहीं है, so that is also wrong. अगर आप सी एंड डी देखो तो लोकेशन यानी पोजीशन ऑफ पॉइंट सी एंड पोजीशन ऑफ पॉइंट टी सेम है, पॉइंट सी ऐसे ऊपर वाइब्रेट कर रहा है एंड आपका पॉइंट टी भी ऐसा ऊपर वाइब्रेट कर रहा है, so your location as well as direction of oscillation are same for C and D, so we say that C and D are in phase, right? So if the 2 points have same location and they vibrate in the same direction, then we say that they are in phase, they are in phase, right? Very good. Next question. So students, a question is given to us jahan pe this is the equation of the displacement, ye displacement ka equation hai, and we are supposed to find the time period. So time period nikalne ke liye omega, we say that pi by 2 into 100 is omega. See, pi by 2 was outside the bracket, don't forget it. So pi by 2 into 100, that entire part is omega, because omega is attached with t, and with x, k is attached. X के साथ k होता है, t के साथ omega होता है. So this entire part is omega, and we know that omega stands for 2 pi by t. So it is 2 pi divided by t. So pi cancel, pi and pi is getting cancelled out. So 2, this is 50, and 50 by 2 is 25. So 25 is 1 by t. 1 by t is 25. We are supposed to find a value of t. So t will be equals to 1 by 25. Right. 0.04. 0.04 second. Option A. Right. Very good. Let's move on to the next question. See, in the question they are telling that the speed of the transverse wave on a stretched string will be. So on a stretched string, the wave is transverse. So for a transverse wave, the velocity is under root of t by m. Here t stands for tension in the string. So we can say that the velocity is directly proportional to root of t. Velocity is directly proportional to root of t. So we say that it is directly proportional to square root of tension. Directly proportional to square root of tension means option B. Correct answer is option B. Velocity is directly proportional to square root of tension. Directly proportional to square root of tension. यहाँ पे बोला inversely proportional तो गलत ही है, उल्टा नहीं है ना. Inversely proportional to root of m, but tension के साथ directly proportional. So correct answer is B. Next question. Out of the following gases which are under similar temperature and pressure, velocity of sound will be maximum in what? So we know that velocity of sound according to Laplace correction is equals to under root of gamma RT by M. So if you see properly, hydrogen H2, nitrogen N2, oxygen O2, chlorine Cl2. So all of them are diatomic gases. तो डायटोमिक होने की वजह से सबका गैमा सेम होगा. डायटोमिक के लिए गैमा 1.414. All are at the same temperature. क्वेश्चन में बोला गया टेम्परेचर सेम है, सो टी इज ऑल्सो सेम। आर तो गैस कांस्टेंट सेम होता ही है, विच मीन्स दैट द वेलोसिटी इज इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू रूट ऑफ मोलर मास मॉलिक्यूलर वेट। हमसे पूछा गया वेलोसिटी विल बी मैक्सिमम इन, तो वेलोसिटी मैक्सिमम होगा अगर मॉलिक्यूलर वेट आपका मिनिमम है, इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल है। तो मॉलिक्यूलर वेट फॉर हाइड्रोजन इज 1, नाइट्रोजन के लिए आपका मॉलिक्यूलर वेट 14 to 28, क्लोरीन के लिए इट इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली 35.5 एंड ऑक्सीजन के लिए 32. So molecular mass is minimum for hydrogen. So velocity will be maximum for hydrogen. Right. So next question. The speed of the sound wave in a fluid is. The sound is a longitudinal wave. If sound is a longitudinal wave, it is under root of E by rho. Now E is bulk modulus of elasticity. So it is directly proportional to square root of bulk modulus of elasticity. So A is right. Right. Very good. Next question. At what temperature will the speed of sound in air will become 3 times the speed at 0 degrees Celsius? So we can say that velocity of sound at T degrees Celsius will be equal to 3 times the velocity of sound at 0 degrees Celsius. So we have to express it in terms of temperature. We know that just now we have seen velocity of formula is gamma RT by M. So that is equals to 3 times under root of RT, gamma RT by M. But remember one thing, that this T is always in Kelvin. The formula में T must be in Kelvin. So T degree Celsius, gamma RM, ये तो cancel. हाँ, तो ये capital T root में, this is actually root of T degree Celsius plus 273, because that was in Kelvin. Kelvin में अगर convert करने degree Celsius को 273 से add, and that should be equals to 3 times under root of T, that is only 0 degrees Celsius, मतलब it is only 273. I square both sides, दोनों साइड को हम स्क्वायर करते हैं. So if I square both sides, I get T plus 273. T plus 273 is equals to 9 into 273. 9 into 273. Now this 9 into 273 में से 273 minus. So your small t will be equals to 273 common. If I take 273 common, I should get 9 minus 1, 9 minus 1, which is 8. Now 8 is multiplied by 273, that should be the final answer. So 273 multiplied by 8. So 8 3 is 24, 2 carry, 8 7 is 56, plus 2, so 58, 5 carry, 8 2 is 16, plus 5, so 2184. That is the answer. Right? Let's move on to the next question. So next question. In the question, they're telling that the bulk modulus of elasticity of water is 2100 megapascal. That is the bulk modulus. Now mega matlab 10 to 6. Mega is 10 to 6. So in the question, they're telling that what is the speed of sound in water? What is the speed? So the speed, that is V, will be equal to, what do we know? We know that it is under root of E, that is bulk modulus of elasticity, divided by rho. Rho is the density. So that is equals to under root of, instead of E, we can write 2100 mega, that is 10 to 6, divided by rho. Now density of water, students, 1000 hota hai. Density of water is 1000 SI mein. So that is 1000. So it is divided by 10 to 3. Now this 10 to 3 with 10 to 6 gets cancelled out. So it is only 10 raised to 3. So we get root of 2100 into 10 raised to 3. When you take its root, you will get 1450. Option E. So next question, students. हमको बोल रहे कि the ratio of the velocity of sound in hydrogen and that in helium, this ratio will be how much? So let's assume that hydrogen is the first gas and helium is the second gas. So we are supposed to find the ratio of the velocity of sound in hydrogen to that in helium, right? So this is question mark. Now try to understand one thing, that velocity formula according to Laplace correction is gamma into RT by M. Gamma RT by M. Cool. So we can understand that velocity for hydrogen H2 divided by velocity of sound in helium He will be equal to, see, your gamma is different for hydrogen and helium, and even molar mass is different. Rest R and capital T same है. तो हम बोलेंगे it is under root of, for hydrogen first time writing, it is Y of H2 divided by capital M of H2 multiplied by, students, it is capital M of He, because capital M के साथ inversely related, and Y of He, right? So now, students, we will say that it is equals to under root of gamma H2, that is 7 by 5 for hydrogen. It is 7 by 5. Acha, what is molecular mass of hydrogen? So that is 2, H2, right? Into molecular mass of helium. So that is 4 upon gamma of helium, that is 5 divided by 3. 5 divided by 3. Cool. So this 2's are 4. So that becomes 7 2's are 14 and 14 3's are 42. So it is 42 within the root divided by root of 25, that is 5, right? So this is the required answer, option C, right? Let's move on to the next question. Dear students, अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आ रहा है, जरूर लाइक कीजिएगा, शेयर कीजिएगा, सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा चैनल को, and make sure that your friends are also getting informed about this channel. आप अपने friends को जरूर शेयर कीजिएगा. The more you share, the more blessings you will get from your friends. सबका help करते जाना है. So make sure that you share, subscribe and like the channel. So students, the question asks, what is the relation between frequency, that is F, they have written it as mu, wavelength, and the wave velocity? So this is frequency, this is wavelength, and this is the wave velocity. What is the relation between them? So we know that V is equals to F lambda. Say V is equals to F lambda, students, then all the options are in terms of mu, that is F. So we can say that F, that is frequency, will be equals to V divided by lambda. Now in this question, instead of F, they have told that it is nu. So nu is equals to V by lambda. Nu is equals to V by lambda. So option C, right? Let's move on to the next question. Okay. In the question, it states that when sound is refracted, means sound is going from one medium to another medium, it is going from air to water. Which of the following parameters remains unchanged? What will not change when sound goes from one medium to another medium? Students, try to understand when sound moves from one medium, that in the question they have told from air to water to the other medium, that is water. Understand that frequency does not change. When sound will propagate from air to water, the velocity will change and the wavelength will also change. But frequency, students, is a property of the source. As long as the source of sound does not change, the frequency cannot change. As long as the source of sound does not change, the frequency will not change. This means that the quantity which remains unchanged is frequency. Frequency will not change. Now, wavelength will change, wave velocity will change, and wave number is reciprocal of wavelength. Wave number is reciprocal of wavelength. अगर wavelength change होगा तो wave number तो change होगा, right? So correct answer is D. Let's move on to the next question. So in the question they are telling that the phenomenon of echo is an example of echo. So I shout in front of a mountain. So sound जाता है, टकरा के वापस आता है. So this is an example of reflection, right? So echo is an example of reflection. You understand that when reflection occurs, there is a phase change of pi radian. Remember that when reflection occurs from a rigid boundary, there is a phase change of pi radian, right? Remember that. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, so just now I told you, can you recollect that whenever reflection occurs at a rigid boundary, reflection occurs at a rigid boundary, the phase change occurs by pi radian. Reflection occurs at a rigid boundary, phase change takes place by pi radian, right? So when a traveling wave is propagating and reflection occurs at a rigid boundary, remember that the phase change occurs by pi radian. Okay, so correct answer is D. So that means that if you have a transverse wave and that transverse wave gets reflected from a rigid boundary, phase change of pi radian occurs. So the crest will be bounced back as trough and trough will bounce back as crest. इस तरह से आपका wave bounce back होगा. ये आपका wave incident था. It will be bounced back like this, right? Let's move on to the next question. So students, this is the last question on the topic of sound, and this question is based on Doppler's effect of sound. The question is based on Doppler's effect of sound, right? So Doppler's effect क्या कहता है? According to Doppler, अगर source of sound and observer के बीच में there is relative motion, so this is a source of sound, and maybe this is observer, listener, one who is listening to the sound. So if there is relative motion between source of sound and observer, then the frequency of sound that observer will hear will change. Observer को जो sound का pitch frequency सुनाई देगा वो real frequency से अलग होगा, and that frequency, students, is called as n dash, that is apparent frequency. It is apparent frequency. Apparent frequency, it is different from the true frequency of the sound. तो जब हमारा source of sound and observer के बीच में there is relative motion, there is an apparent frequency that the observer will hear. Okay. तो students, ये जो apparent frequency observer सुनेगा, इसका एक formula Doppler ने दिया. जो true frequency है, जो हमारे source of sound में से निकल रहे, that is maybe n naught. Okay. तो जो आपका apparent frequency होगा, मतलब n dash, that will be equals to n naught, that is the true frequency. Within bracket, dear students, it is V plus or minus V of O upon V minus plus V of S. This is the formula for apparent frequency. V plus or minus V of O upon V minus plus V of S. This is the formula for apparent frequency. Now students, अब यहाँ पे V stands for the velocity of sound, sound का velocity. V of O is the velocity of observer, and V of S is the velocity of source. Source का velocity V of S, observer का velocity V of O, and sound का velocity, the velocity with which sound is traveling, साउंड का वेलोसिटी इज v. कूल, वेरी गुड. अब आप याद रखो कि जब आपका सोर्स एंड ऑब्जर्वर अप्रोच पास आएगा तो एपरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी n डैश बिकम्स मोर. अगर सोर्स एंड ऑब्जर्वर अप्रोच, देन एपरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी n डैश बिकम्स मोर. वही डियर स्टूडेंट्स, अगर तुम्हारा सोर्स एंड ऑब्जर्वर goes away from each other, दूर जाता है, then the apparent frequency n dash will be less. तो अगर सोर्स एंड ऑब्जर्वर अप्रोच, apparent frequency जो ऑब्जर्वर को सुनाई देगा that will go up, and अगर सोर्स एंड ऑब्जर्वर दूर जाएगा then apparent frequency जो ऑब्जर्वर को सुनाई देगा that will go down. इट्स अ कॉमन फिनोमेना जो हम लोगों ने एक्सपीरियंस किया. रेलवे स्टेशन पे हम खड़े, फुल स्पीड में ट्रेन आया विसल बजाते हुए, तो ट्रेन जब क्रॉस करता है विसल का पिच हाई होता है, एंड द मोमेंट ट्रेन क्रॉसेस whistle का pitch falls down, right? So this is Doppler's effect of sound. अच्छा, तो अगर apparent frequency बढ़ेगा dear students, तो न्यूमरेटर में प्लस डालेंगे. न्यूमरेटर बड़ा होगा तो apparent frequency ज्यादा. तो apparent frequency को बढ़ाने के लिए न्यूमरेटर में प्लस, एंड तभी हम डिनोमिनेटर में माइनस डालते हैं. न्यूमरेटर में प्लस डालेंगे तो डिनोमिनेटर में माइनस, एंड जब हमारा सोर्स एंड ऑब्जर्वर दूर जाएगा तो न्यूमरेटर माइनस, क्योंकि apparent frequency कम हो गया, तब हमारा डिनोमिनेटर प्लस होना चाहिए. Cool, very good. Now look at the question. In the question they have told that a train is approaching. As the train is approaching, the source and observer are approaching. So according to Doppler's effect, the apparent frequency n dash will be equals to the true frequency, that is n naught, within bracket it is v approaching. So apparent frequency बढ़ेगा, so it is v plus v of o upon v minus v of s. Right? So we will get the train is approaching with a speed of 20 meter per second. So train is blowing the whistle. So train is the source. So the velocity of the source is 20. Speed of the sound is 340. That is v. Speed of the sound. How much is it? It is 340. So even here, speed of sound v will be 340. What about observer? Person is standing on the platform. So as the person is standing on the platform, VO will be 0, right? What is the true frequency? The true frequency, dear students, is 640 hertz. True frequency is 640 hertz. Okay, true frequency is 640 hertz. So we can say that the apparent frequency n dash will be equals to 640. As the train is approaching, the apparent frequency will be more than 640. More than 640. So definitely 600 is wrong and 640 is also wrong. It should be more than that. So it is 640 times V, that is 340, plus 0, वो तो 0 ही हो गया, divided by 340 minus 20. 340 minus 20. So now dear students, 340 minus 20 is 320. So we get 640 divided by 320 into 340, right? So clearly you can see that 320 ka double is 640, so that is 2. So 340 into 2, so 2 zeros is 0, 2 fours are 8, and 2 threes are 6. So correct answer is 680 hertz. 680 hertz. So dear students, with this we can end this session. If you are benefited from this session, do let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And as Guru Dakshina, hit the like button. With this, dear students, we are ending today's session. Let me know which chapter should I start the next. Okay, till then, keep on studying. Take care, my dear students. Bye bye, everyone.